Hi, I'm Zach Neal. I'm a fast-paced entrepreneur, chef, and an amateur outdoorsman. And this is my buddy, Tim O'Grady. He's a restaurateur, a photographer, and also an amateur outdoorsman. We've decided to make a meal straight out of 1791, where if you can't catch it, kill it, or grow it, you can't eat it. Of course, we will be using the modern luxuries to cook and prepare these foods. We're not going caveman style. We're not cooking in the forest over an open flame. But we are following the old school tactic of you've got to go out in the woods and kill the animal. You've got to field dress it. You've got to butcher it. You've got to grow the vegetables, or in our case, get the vegetables from somebody who grew them themselves and put together a meal that not only is delicious, but looks like it came from a fancy restaurant. Can we do it? I have no idea. Are we gonna look stupid trying? Most likely. So here we go. The rules are simple. We can only eat what we harvest or kill, which means we have to go out in the woods, we have to hunt the ringneck pheasant, we have to kill one, we have to field dress it, we have to bring it home, we have to clean it, butcher it, and prepare it. Any side dishes or any ingredients used have to either come off of a local farm that were harvested locally, or they have to be something we hunted or gathered ourselves. And here's the catch. We can't eat until we're eating what we've prepared. So we might be going quite a while without a meal. Step 1, wake up at the ass crack of dawn. This is not a complimentary lifestyle when you own bars, nightclubs, and restaurants and you're out late at night in various cities. But this is the work that has to be put in if you want to get out and catch something.
Morning, boys. Who's getting the apple today?
I grew up in a small town in the south and then ended up moving to another small town in the north. And one of the things that both of those small town living experiences had in common was hunting, fishing, and outdoors activities, which is something that I was introduced to at a young age, was very much a part of the culture of living in a small town, helping put food on the table, a big part of the history and culture of living in places like that. First day, total bust. Out in the woods, walking around, getting covered in pricker bushes and ticks, and breaking a sweat, but didn't see any birds, didn't bother recording anything. Let's just pretend that didn't happen, and we're gonna go right into day 2 here. Day 2, kind of like day 1 in the sense that we didn't see shit. So we walked around the brush, we're traipsing around out in the woods, not seeing anything. After a few hours, got frustrated, decided to call it a day. We're gonna pack it in. We go back to the truck, we start driving down the road, and we spot a bird 100 yards up in front of us. So we park the truck, we get out, get our gear back on and everything, and this is what happens.
Two.
I honestly can't even believe that I took this shot. It was ridiculous. I mean, it's obviously too far away.
He looked like he was. I don't see it yet, but if we go up that hill, we're gonna get him.
Well, those boys were at it again, scrambling up that hill faster than a jackrabbit on a hot griddle. They thought they had themselves a pheasant, but, well, let's just say that Bird had other plans.
One thing is for sure, if I was actually relying on pheasants to feed myself, I would have starved for the last 3 days. So today's got to bring some better luck.
All right, so what's the plan today?
We're gonna try to walk out through this brush and see if we can kick anything out. I think there's some birds in the brush today, so we're gonna try to move in and see what we can kick up.
Do you think we'll have a better day today than yesterday?
Couldn't do worse. We definitely couldn't do worse.
Nope, right there.
That's a good shot. That's a clean shot. Nice ringneck pheasant. It's a good clean shot. He dropped immediately. The male. And this is step one to harvesting meat in the wild.
Good shot.
Thank you. A lot of people might not try to take a shot like that at 30 or 40 yards through the brush on the ground, but with the Browning, Satori, Hunter, I felt very confident I could make that shot, and I did make that shot. It's one of the better ones I've made, if I do say so myself. Oh, this is a beefy bird.
Yeah, I can see
It's
it.
got some girth to it. I'll put this one in my satchel. Well, I think we've reached our legal limit. This, my friends, is a successful day hunting. This is as good as it gets. It literally doesn't get any better than this. And this is literally a made for TV moment, because this is not how it normally is. You're usually out here walking around, hiking around for days, not seeing anything. But today we got our bag limit, and we're about to take these birds home, get them cleaned up, and get them in a pan. Cleaning wild game, definitely not one of my favorite things to do, but it's a necessary evil in the journey from field to table. So step one here is I've got to get all of the feathers out of the bird. This can be a meticulous process, and you've got to make sure you get all of them, because nobody wants to find a feather in their stew, right? So you've got to get all the feathers out. That's step one. Then we're going to gut it. We're going to clean it up. We're going to trim it up. And I'm not going to be too meticulous here, because I'm going to do a breast and thigh preparation here, and I'm going to be sauteing. And so at the end of the day, I don't need to be too meticulous with my knife work or my butchering. I just really want to get the breast meat separated, get those thighs out, and get it ready to go in a pan. So my goal is going to be to get this part done as quick as possible. I'm going to wash the bird and scrub it off here in a nice salt bath, and then I'm going to get it in the house and get it ready for preparation. In the kitchen, I like to be a little bit more freeform. I don't like to commit as a chef to what I'm making until I'm making it. So I like to start with an idea of what I'd like to make, and then I like to surround myself with a bunch of different ingredients so I can make changes on the fly until I get to that moment where I finally know exactly what I'm making. In this case, I've decided I'm going to make a cider braised pheasant with currant berries, chestnut, leeks, and apples, and I'm going to pickle some of those apples for a little bit of tartness. To accompany that, I'm going to make some really, really buttery whipped turnips, and then I'm going to make some skillet biscuits. Also, really excited to be using these Hexclad products today. This Hexclad knife, extremely sharp, super durable, well balanced, love it. And we're going to be cooking the pheasant in this Hexclad pan that we are also really pumped about using. And they were nice enough to send us some stuff over for this segment, so we're really excited to be working with them on field to table. One thing for sure when you're cooking field to table is you really have to work for your product. So I'm going to start off by not letting anything go to waste, and I'm going to use the trimmings and the carcass from the pheasant with some vegetables and some herbs and spices to make a pheasant stock. There's something very rewarding about making meals like this that are unprocessed and all natural. You're working with vegetables that are all farm fresh, coming off of local farms, literally farm to table. You're going out in the woods and hunting and killing your protein, your animal, and bringing it in for preparation that same day. It's really getting back into the nuts and bolts of cooking and harvesting and preparing food the way that it was originally. Back to nature, back to the natural way things used to be done long before commercial agriculture and grocery stores. This is the way people ate for thousands of years. So there is something very rewarding and cathartic and rootsy and just feeling good about cooking and preparing meals like this.
I get a little pickled apple on it. So good.
That is good.
That's really good.
I love that pickled apple.
And it's nice because the tang for that balances out that little from the brine, like that saltiness and all that stuff. It's so good. And that little bit of sweetness that you had in the sugar for the apples.
Yeah, that's really good. This was our first time doing anything like this. Of course, we had been hunting and fishing and done outdoor activities in the past, but we had never set out to go out in the woods, hunt and kill an animal, field dress it, bring it home, butcher it, prepare it, put all of the ingredients together to prepare something that's not only edible, but delicious, and also looks like something you would get in a fancy restaurant. For that, I'm very proud of the work that Tim and I did to put this together, and I think it was a success. Although we didn't do it all in one day, and it did take a few days for us to get the hunting part done, we were able to accomplish our main goal, which was to create a truly field-to-table meal, which we did. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you'll join us on our next adventure, creating our next meal from field to table.